My name is Dara. I am 18 years old. I come from a small village in Kampong Cham. This year, I moved to Phnom Penh to study at university. It was a significant change, a leap from the familiar embrace of my home into the sprawling, vibrant, and sometimes overwhelming heart of the city. The decision to leave was not an easy one, filled with tearful goodbyes and promises to write often. My parents, their faces etched with a mixture of pride and worry, stood by the dusty roadside, waving until the bus that carried me toward my future became a small speck on the horizon. The memory of that moment is a constant companion, a reminder of the sacrifices they have made and the hopes they have placed upon my shoulders. The journey itself felt like a passage between two worlds. The endless green of the rice paddies, a sight so common it was part of my very being, slowly gave way to denser towns, busier roads, and eventually the towering structures of the capital. Everything seemed to move at a faster pace, a rhythm I was yet to learn. The sounds of the countryside, the crowing of roosters at dawn, the gentle rustle of palm leaves, the distant laughter of children playing were replaced by a constant symphony of traffic, construction, and the ceaseless hum of a city that never truly sleeps. I knew then that this new chapter would challenge me in ways I couldn't yet imagine. But it was a challenge I was ready to face, fueled by the dreams of a better life, not just for myself, but for the community I had left behind. I rent a small room near the school. It is a humble space, just big enough for a bed, a small desk, and a shelf for my belongings. The window looks out onto a narrow alley, a stark contrast to the open fields I was used to waking up to. But this little room has become my sanctuary, a quiet corner in a loud city where I can find peace. Every morning, the first rays of sunlight filter through that window, signaling the start of another demanding day. I walk to class with my books in hand. The campus is a world of its own, a place of knowledge and opportunity. I listen intently to my professors, their words opening up new perspectives and ideas, painting a picture of a world far beyond the borders of my village. The library is my favorite place, a treasure trove of stories and information where I can lose myself for hours, forgetting the pressures of my new life. In the evening, I work part-time at a coffee shop to earn some money. The clatter of cups, the aroma of brewing coffee, and the murmur of conversations have become the soundtrack to my nights. The work is tiring, and often I don't get back to my small room until late, but every kyat I earn is a small victory, a step towards easing the financial burden on my family. It's a dual existence, being a student by day and a worker by night. A delicate balancing act that requires discipline and perseverance. Each day is a cycle of study, work, and brief moments of rest, a routine that shapes my new identity as a city dweller. Life in the city is not easy. The anonymity can be suffocating at times. In my village, everyone knew my name, my family, my story. Here I am just another face in the crowd, a stranger navigating a complex urban landscape. The fast pace can be relentless, leaving little room for the slow, deliberate rhythm of rural life that I miss so dearly. Sometimes I miss my family and the sound of the rice fields. I close my eyes and I can almost feel the cool breeze sweeping across the paddies, hear my mother's gentle voice calling me for dinner, and see my father's warm smile. These moments of homesickness are sharp and painful, a deep ache in my heart for the simplicity and warmth of home. I miss the communal gatherings, the shared meals with neighbors, and the feeling of belonging to a place where roots run deep. The city, with all its promises of progress and excitement, can also be a lonely place. The connections here feel more transient, the relationships more guarded. But I know I must be strong and work hard. I often look at a worn photograph of my family that I keep on my desk. Their faces are a constant source of strength, a powerful reminder of why I am here. Their unwavering belief in me is the fuel that keeps my fire burning, even when I feel exhausted and discouraged. I remind myself that every challenge I overcome, every lesson I learn, is not just for my own benefit. It is a stepping stone towards a larger purpose, a promise I made not only to my family but to myself, because one day I want to return home as a person who can help my village. I dream of bringing back the knowledge I've gained to build a small school, to introduce better farming techniques, or to create opportunities for the young people there so they don't have to leave. This dream is the light that guides me through the darkest moments, the ultimate goal that makes all the hardship worthwhile. It is the reason I rise each morning, the reason I study so diligently, and the reason I push through the fatigue each night. My journey in Phnom Penh is more than just a quest for a degree. It is a pilgrimage of hope, a preparation for the day I can finally go back and make a real difference.